In the mid-1960s during communism there was a collaboration between Metalhum, a Bulgarian defense firm, and BULET, a Bulgarian export trade organization. The basic idea was to purchase complete knockdown kits of passenger cars from abroad with BULET's viable hard currency reserves, and then to assemble them in the factories owned by Metalhum. Several offers had already been made by foreign car manufacturers such as Renault, FIAT, SIMCA, and Alfa Romeo, but Renault's offer was deemed to be the most attractive one. Initially, France provided all necessary parts and components of the cars, but the plan was to gradually switch to a progressive assembly, which would eventually lead to the great majority of them being manufactured in Bulgaria. There were two different types of Bulgarrenault: the Bulgarrenault 8 and the Bulgarrenault 10. And the Bulgarrenault was manufactured from 1966 to 1970. In 1967, Bulgaria exported 16,000 accessory kits to France, while in 1968 their number was slated to increase to 100,000. The annual production of the car assembly plant was intended to reach 3,000 passenger cars, but that ambitious goal was never reached. Until 1970, the Plovdiv factory produced approximately 4,000 cars model Bulgarrenault 8 and 10, at a total cost of the French supplied parts and components of the equivalent of $6 million, averaging the equivalent of $1,500 per production car. The first production cars were marketed in Bulgaria in February 1967, which was officially announced in issue number 2 of the car enthusiast magazine Avtomoto. The magazine mentioned a price of 5,500 Bulgarian leva per car, but the actual prices were fixed at 6,100 leva for the Bulgarrenault 8 and 6,800 leva for the Bulgarrenault 10. A certain part of the newly assembled cars were sold abroad as well. During 1967 to 1969, 500 Bulgarrenault 10 cars were exported to Yugoslavia, and in 1970 another 300, some sources mention 900, Bulgarrenault 8 and 10 cars were exported to Austria. Other purchasers of Bulgarrenault included some Middle Eastern countries. Both vehicles were available in two configurations: 1.0-liter engine that produced 42 horsepower and 1.1-liter engine that produced 43 horsepower, combined with 3 transmission types: 3, 4 or 5-speed manual. It took 22 seconds for the vehicle to reach 100 km per hour, and it had a top speed of 134 km per hour.